We're back one more time to Seven Rivers Racing here on KQEG TV. I'm Dan Dyker along with Al Losey. Davey Pennel, the 29P late model driver coming out of Wisconsin Dells, the Dells Raceway Park, running third in points. Got a shot at second to round out the season, driving for Dean Satellite this year. Do want to mention his sister Allie is off camera today. She's one of the bandit drivers at Dells Raceway Park, currently running 10th in points as a rookie. We'll kind of talk about her. We'll name drop her a little bit later in the program, because I heard Allie helps Davey set the car up. Is that right?
I think she's your coach, isn't she?
Yeah. I do want to mention real quickly, Mississippi Thunder Speedway in Fountain City was rained out last weekend. Coming up this Friday night, the 5th annual $3,000 to win USMTS Modified Special. It's part of that big hunt for the Casey's General Stores National Championship. They're going to get things underway at 5:30. They had a big two-night race here a couple of weekends ago. Danny Hansen's like Mr. Unstoppable in the sportsman class. Davey, you were up there last year, and if you're a dirt driver or even an asphalt driver, you just want to get away for a weekend, you want to catch some dirt action, you've seen this before. I mean, that is some crazy driving up there.
Yeah, it's awesome racing. Everyone's really close and put on one heck of a show.
Well, they're going to be starting that out again on Friday night. The USMTS Modified Street Stocks and the B-Mods will get underway at 7. Check out MississippiThunder.com. Davey Pennel joining us in the program, currently running third in points out at Dells Raceway Park. The Big 8 Series has got to be an interesting one as well, because you're a little bit quicker than your late model cars are, and some of the names you get to run with, when you're talking with the Fredericksons are there, the Carlsons, the Ross Kansas, I mean, you are amongst the superstars of Wisconsin racing. That's got to be cool.
Yeah, it's an awesome program. A lot of competition. You spend some money to run with them, but even a top 5 finish is amazing there. I mean, a win is unheard of for someone like me, but finished in the top 5, and I think I've finished in the top 10 all year so far. So it's been good for us for running 6th in points, and can't ask for more really right now. I mean, we haven't even been to most of the tracks. We go there, and it's the first time we've been there. We don't practice there or anything, so just to show up.
So you show up at a track that you've never been on. That's going to be kind of tough to do.
Yeah, it's different, and you get just 3 practice sessions. I mean, you don't get the whole day for practice. So to learn the track and then figure out your setup too within 15, 20 minutes of practice is hard. But
do you have someone who you can go to as an advisor before you show up to the tracks so that you can set the car up at the shop?
I kind of talk around with some of my friends about the setup, but most of it we just kind of look at the track and decide. I mean, we don't go there with the perfect setup, that's for sure. Now,
Billy Martin, he learned to run lacrosse on the computer. Do you go on the computer and look at the tracks? You don't?
No.
No, actually, he learned how to. He was watching the computer and playing video games. Yep. I mean, he wrecked this past weekend, but he's got 2 feature wins over the past 2 years. Now, what does the Big 8 look like for the rest of the season here? That's one of the biggest races at Oktoberfest. So I know the guys that are driving the last couple of races are kind of looking over the top of the dashboard at Oktoberfest.
Yeah, I mean, you got Steve Rubeck, Dale Nottestead, and Jeremy Miller all really close for the championship, and Kyle Shearer, Bobby Wilberg, and I are all close there in the top 5. So I think I could break into the top 5, but there's also some hotheads coming from behind me. We got 3 races left. We go to Madison, September 24th, and Rockford, I think the 1st or 2nd of October, and then we got Oktoberfest Saturday. So
3 big races all back to back to back.
Yeah. So we ran really good at Madison. We also ran good at Rockford. I think we finished 8th there, and I think 6th at Madison this year. So go back to those tracks, and now we got a starting point. So the nice thing is they wreck a lot of cars in the Big 8, so as long as you keep your nose clean, that's how I pick up most of my spots. So all those fast guys, they're always looking to win it. They're never out there for second. So they wreck a lot of cars, and that's how I pick up most of my spots. But keeping my nose clean and coming home with the top 10 is how you get up there in points too. So, but yeah, we could break into the top 5, and that'd be awesome to finish out the season with the top 5 in the championship.
Well, especially when you're talking almost in front of your home crowd at lacrosse. I mean, you got to figure how many Sparta people or Monroe County people are going to be at that race for the Big 8 championship during Oktoberfest. OktoberfestRaceWeekend.com, as a matter of fact. Start making your reservations and your camping reservations right now. Don't wait till the last minute, because if you're like I was last year, I forgot where I was going to camp at, and I was way, way out in the western portion of the fairgrounds. So this year I'm going to get my stuff set up on a Wednesday. But before we let you go, you've got some outstanding sponsors that have been with you since the beginning. One of those, of course, in the family.
Yeah, Dean Satellite, DirecTV we got in the car, and my aunt, she's also been really good. She makes us food all the time, and so that's absolutely edible. Yeah, absolutely edible in La Crosse. Java Vino in La Crosse by the Village Shopping Center. I got to thank some family friends. Brent and Tracy own Cellular Express in Sparta and Westby, and also the sports page in New Lisbon. So.
All right, he's got the blue 29P. Now, again, Allie is sitting off camera here. She's running 10th in points as a rookie this year in the bandit class. And as we just talked about, you just had the highest number of bandits, like 36 this past weekend. Does she come to you for advice? Do you ever go over and just kind of see what she's doing? Or do you kind of let her be in her own little world when you guys are at the racetrack?
Yeah, sometimes I just let her do what she's doing. She learns best by herself, it seems like. But I try and tell her what would help her, make her faster. And we go Wednesdays in practice and try some new things in the car, and I jump in it and drive it for a while. And
just for fun, or just to help her set it up?
Both, kind of.
Now, does she get into your car and set it up?
But Allie's what
she's smiling over here.
14 years old, and I know a lot of those bandit drivers, that is like the premium age to start a bandit is like 14, and they're getting quite a bit of experience there.
Yeah, they got, I think, a 12-year-old, 13-year-old, and then she's 15. So she's doing good. She's close in Rookie of the Year points, I think, and the last few weeks her cars have been running right, but we got it good this weekend, and she finished 5th this weekend and won her heat, so she's doing good.
So what's the future of Davey Pennel Racing? Where do you want to go from here?
I don't know. I got to go to college this year after school, so
good answer.
I got a full-time scholarship deal to Ohio Technical College.
Nice.
Good job.
So I think I'll probably end up going there, and they go through the summer, so I don't know how racing's looking, but I'm sure I'll be around.
Yeah, you can stay in it.
Yeah.
You know, Allie's sitting over here going, yeah, he's going to college, a car's going to be sitting in the shop, and I want to drive it. Am I right? Yeah, look at her. She's like, I want a piece of that late model action. Our guest in the program, driving the Dean Satellite 29P at the Dells Raceway Park, Davey Pennel. She's got you got a website too, don't you?
Yeah, DaveyPennel.com.
That's right, DaveyPennel.com. Make sure you check that out. And he does drive for the DirecTV folks, so Davey's going to have to watch himself when we put the show up on YouTube.com/7RiversRacing. Maybe we'll get him a copy as well. Davey, thanks for joining us in the program. Continued success. We'll definitely see you out there for Oktoberfest.
Thank you very much for having me.
Alrighty, DaveyPennel.com, LacrosseSpeedway.com, DellsRacewayPark.com, MississippiThunder.com if you want the latest schedules. And we have an address that people, if they want to write us an email, have a question for Davey or Allie or ourselves, what is it?
It's www.fansarena.com/7riversracingshow.html.
And you can just jot in your information. If you have a question for anybody that's on the show, we will ask them, or we'll just try to make up an answer just so we can fill some time on the next program. Next week, more coming as championship night at all these local racetracks. It's starting to come down to it. A lot of tracks, just 3 or 4 nights left. And your best source for information right here each week on the Seven Rivers Racing Show. For Allie Pennel off camera, Davey Pennel from Dells Raceway Park, and now Losi, I'm Dan Dyker. Thanks for joining us on the program. Remember to check out the latest in racing Saturdays from 4 to 5 a.m. 580 WKTY. I'll bring you the latest from all the tracks. And if there's going to be rainouts, your last chance to find out if your track is rain out or not. Thanks for joining us. We'll be back next week here on Seven Rivers Racing on KQEG TV.